Welcome, Kate. Welcome to Curiosas Chronicles podcast.
Thank you, Rohit, so much for having me. What a fantastic thing to do during the
It
International Coaching Week.
it is indeed. So I am actually quite excited to do this mini series on importance of coaching in leadership development. An idea came up last week. I thought, okay, coaching week is coming up, and why don't I pick up the coaches I know, and we can do a small series on it this
Yeah.
week. So every day. So thanks for accepting this
Well,
invite and
great
coming onto
idea.
this space. Yeah.
Great idea.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, obviously, to our listeners, to our audience, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So I'm Kate. I'm Kate Wallace, and I'm a qualified executive coach with the ICF, with EMCC, and with the AC. I actually got my coaching accreditation a handful of years ago, but I realized when I was training to become a coach, actually, I've been coaching all my life. And
Hmm.
I've been doing it as part of my role as a communications partner or a corporate affairs director. And that was really exciting for me to be able to use my experience in a different arena. And that's what I do
Brilliant.
now.
Brilliant. Thanks for this. Obviously, I'm asking all my guests this series. How do you see the importance of coaching in leadership development, which is the theme of our mini series? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the short answer is huge. What I've noticed among my clients, senior leaders, is that in today's ever changing environment, they often feel overwhelmed, under pressure, suffering from isolation, sometimes loneliness, and that coaching gives them an opportunity to explore with someone who supports them and challenges them to help them move forward. Often the more senior the leader, the more isolated they are,
Yeah.
and that they're having to navigate complexity, challenge, change on a daily basis. And coaching gives them the support that they need in order to move forward and take their business and their people and their targets forward.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Very true. So then, obviously, once you know the senior leaders, then how do you tailor your coaching approach? To accommodate. Obviously, they all come from diverse backgrounds, diverse
Yeah,
personalities. And on different
yeah,
leadership styles as well, right? From senior leaders, they all have a quite varied style. So how do you cater your coaching approach?
yeah. Well, I've been thinking about this a lot recently. And for me, chemistry is absolutely critical in the
Mm,
coaching relationship. And I would advise any clients or prospective clients to choose a coach that they respect, that they trust, and that they feel they have a good rapport with. Obviously, it's down to the coach as well to trust, respect, and have a good rapport with the client. But this chemistry is essential. It's
mm,
also part of ensuring that they're choosing the right person for them with the right skills and the right experience. But I think once you've got that chemistry and the coach's commitment to listen and to really understand their client, we're able to work with people from all different backgrounds with different goals and different objectives in different businesses.
yeah. Wise words, very wise words. Chemistry, I'll write it down as well, so for myself as well. So, moving on, how do you actually then address resistance or skepticism? Because all the senior leaders sometimes they think, "Oh, I know everything. I don't need a coach."
Yeah, yeah. I'm so fortunate, Rohit, because I've only worked with leaders who've actively sought or welcomed coaching
Oh, brilliant!
and therefore have been able to establish strong relationships with them based on mutual trust and respect. And what I've learned through this is that while I passionately believe in coaching and the importance of it, particularly leaders navigating, business is an extremely challenging time.
Mm,
It may not be for everyone,
yeah,
or it may not be the right time for them, and maybe they're looking for another way of helping them get through today's ever-changing business environment, whether that's mentoring or some other self-development arena. Because in order to really gain from coaching, you really have to invest yourself in it. And if it's something you're resistant to or skeptical about, it's probably not for you.
Yeah, yeah. That reminded me one of the quote from Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. I did a
Yeah.
podcast with him, and he said, "You are as good as your clients are." So, if they want to change, you have a good client. So that's your success as well. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I've just
Yeah.
got a series of new clients in a consultancy, and I've been trying to work out why I really enjoy coaching them so much. And I've hit on that it's because they're at the top of their game on what they do. And if they're on the top of their game, I have to be on the top of my game in order to help them go forward. And that is really exciting.
Yeah, it's like, and motivating as well, isn't it? It's for us to do better, Yeah. Okay, so how do you then help then senior leaders identify and leverage their strengths? Because obviously they need help, right? That's why they're asking to coach, and then how do you then help those leaders?
Well, that's really interesting because leadership is about strengths and bringing forward your best strengths and maybe leaving behind some of the things which are less useful in the workplace. But I'm really interested in data and insight when it comes to coaching.
Interesting.
And often, that would be about a conversation with the client sponsor or manager to understand their perspective. It might be psychometrics, whether it's Hogan or MTBI or whatever. Sometimes 360 feedback or a personality profile. But what I find really useful is on those occasions when you're able to observe them in the boardroom or in their team meetings. And that brings that shows me their strengths in action, but it also begins a conversation on how they can leverage their best strengths in order to move forward. So strengths are absolutely key, and it's about the client's own strengths, but also what others perceive as their strengths, and really taking those forward in harmony, I guess.
Earlier you mentioned chemistry and trust. Then I'm quite curious to know, how do you actually build and maintain the trust with leaders? As they coach, and especially considering all the coaching engagement, all the confidentiality, etc. Yeah.
Well, you've just hit on what I think is the answer to that. I think confidentiality is the absolute foundation of a positive coaching relationship. In order for your client to be able to explore and share and sometimes become vulnerable and look at things with new eyes and new perspective and new insight, they have to know that conversation is confidential. And as coaches, we have to guarantee that confidentiality. And without that, we really aren't able to help our clients in the way that we should be able to help them. Confidentiality is second nature to me. When I was a corporate affairs leader or communications advisor in the boardroom, we were hearing confidential things all the time. So it's in my nature, and I would never, ever seek to break that in any way. So confidentiality is really important. And you also asked about maintaining trust. Well, the coach's role is to listen and to really hear what the client is saying, what the senior leader is saying, and to accept that without judgment and help them move forward from that position. And it's that safe, non-judgmental environment which helps embed and actually build the trust and respect between the client and the coach.
Yeah, I can resonate with that actually. Yeah. So before we end, as usual, I ask all my guests at the moment for this mini series, can you provide tips for aspiring coaches looking to specialize in coaching senior leaders? What competencies they need to build upon?
Yeah, well, if they're starting out really early in their journey, I would really encourage them to seek training, coach training at an accredited organisation or a business school. For me, the Henley Business School was a game changer, and their professional certification in executive coaching is triple accredited. And and that gave me a real sense of the competencies required as a coach. And since then, I've gone to seek further accreditation. So I think it's really important to understand the detail of coaching and seek accreditation. Then I think there's something about being very open to personal and professional development. In my own case, that includes writing a journal, reflecting, looking back on coaching sessions and what went well, what could have gone better, and what have I learned about myself as much as what the client has learned about themselves. I do quite a lot of self-reviews using the ICF PCC markers, and I would really encourage that. That's been a very important thing for me. And then we're lucky because there are a wealth of really good coaches out there who share demonstrations of their coaching with senior leaders, and I've always found that really useful as well. And then peer supervision and group supervision, as well as one-on-one supervision, are really important, and that helps you become a better coach. But then, at the end of the day, coaching is about coaching. So I would really encourage them to keep practicing and keep coaching.
Yeah, brilliantly put. I think I'm going to take supervision. What you just said, your words, supervision. I think I've seen less and less coaches actually use supervision, but that could be very, very impactful. That could be very, very useful for us.
One of the things that's really helped me is that I have a handful of very close coaching colleagues, and we regularly do peer supervision.
Brilliant.
And so obviously if you're early in your career, you might not be able to afford or allow yourself to have supervision, but you can learn a huge amount about yourself and about coaching from peers who are in a similar stage of development as you, and sharing examples of where they've been, and you can hear and offer thoughts about how they can improve and what might be going on for them based on your own experience. And I found that really helpful, because I know sometimes people don't seek supervision because they're worried about costs, but I think supervision is really important.
Cool. Thank you, Kate. Thanks for coming into this space.
Not at all. Thank you for having me.
It's been brilliant talking to you. Hopefully in the future podcasts, we can go more deeper into each aspect of senior leadership coaching. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Stay safe. And tomorrow we'll be coming back with a new episode. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye for now.